This is going to be your weekly tarot and oracle relationship reading. If it's meant for you, it's meant for you. We're going to take a look at the energies you may have been experiencing in the previous days with your person, how you're feeling currently, and a sneak peek at the upcoming days. Now, I'm filming this on Friday morning. It's a dreary, rainy day. It feels like everything is so up and down right now. One day sun, one day rain, hot, cold. It's like a roller coaster, and it's basically this analogy for what's going on right now in the energy, right? We're so emotional. We're so on the brink of change. And there's this fear and there's this projection and tiredness, anticipation. I mean, please in the comments, enter your word of the day or week or moment, because it is really up and down. I've been talking to a lot of people that have been feeling very stressed and unsure. And I think one of the things I can say right now as a piece of advice is make a decision. Many people are struggling with being clear in what they want. Also being open, and I mean truly open, not just in perceived openness. I mean truly open to what's coming, because there is massive change coming our way. So this Jupiter and Uranus conjunction that's happening on April 20th is kind of considered like the happiest day of the year, where this is an energy that has Jupiter, which is growth, expansion, and good luck, and good fortune. And we have this Uranus energy, which is, sudden and change and, this excitement even. So it's a very interesting time for sure. But let me just go back a little bit. How many of you have felt some core wounds coming to the surface? Like something from the past that really hurt you, and out of nowhere, it just came to the surface. Somebody said something, you felt something. I don't know how to explain it, but I think a lot of wounds have been coming up. So I am really curious to see what is happening right now currently in, deep soul connections, whether you want to call them soulmate, twin flame. So let's get right into it. Let's just take a look at what's the overall themes and messages. And we have here moment. Interesting. Think of a special moment that brought you much joy with your partner. Okay, that's a possibility, but I will tell you this, be very careful with nostalgia. That's the other thing that I'm hearing a lot of. People being pulled backwards, into a time of nostalgia, which keeps you closed from new experiences. Okay, so be careful. When I see this card though, and I just read the word moment, I'm thinking of be in the present moment. Do what you can to just live your life day by day, step by step, and see where it takes you. Because right now, that's all we can do. We can't change the past. We can't, recreate it. It's a matter of being in the present moment and making new memories, okay? So let's see what else we need to know here. Curiosity. Allow your interest to show the way. Curiosity means you're in the present moment. You're asking questions. You're sparking new energy, doing new things, creating new vibes that bring you the future, right? So if you're not curious, then you're staying stuck. And we don't want to be stuck, right? We want to be in vibrant, new, abundant energy. And let's see what else we need to know here. Co-create. There you go. Exactly. I want you to spark new energy with those around you, even your partner. Do things together. Have new experiences. Get away if you can. Maybe take a day trip or whatever trip. Just do something to co-create new experiences, right? Because that's how you build on a connection, is having experiences. Now, on that card, we do see an owl, and I have been seeing a lot of owls lately. Owls are communication and wisdom. And I will say this, that I am feeling like people generally right now are asking for signs. And I know that's going to sound very cliche, like we always ask for signs, but I'm feeling this overwhelming energy that it's almost like, please just give me a sign. Please help guide me. Please help me make this decision or push me in the right direction. And I would say, go ahead, Ask your angels, ask your guides, ask the universe, whoever, pray to God, whatever it is for you. But remember that you have to be in the present moment and make a decision so that new energy can create. Okay? Because if we want something to come to us, we have to make a shift, right? If we ask for something, to come to us and we don't do anything, okay, like we stay stagnant, then we're going to get more of the same old, same old, same old, okay? So we're going to take a look at the connection between you and your person. We're going to look at what's in your headspace, your person's headspace, your heart space, their heart space, overall energy and underlying energy. And of course, feel free to swap sides if it makes more sense. Now I'm going to be using the before tarot for the previous energies, a regular energy tarot deck for the current, and then we're going to look at the after tarot deck, which gives us images of, the energies for the next few days or so. So let's see what's going on right now currently in your headspace, like what you would have been experiencing, over the last few days. Okay, preparing yourself for victory, which I love. It's coming. I think a lot of people are just in so much fear about what's on the horizon. And this preparation right now, it's like you've got to sort of get your ducks in a row, so to speak. This is about feeling good about yourself, self-worth, self-value, and self-respect with the Nine of Pentacles. It's like pre-Empress energy, where it's like you're getting ready for that whole new cycle. And I just want to remind you that whatever's on the other side of fear could be the best thing that ever happened to you. Please do not get caught up in the fear, because fear is what holds us back and keeps us stuck, okay? Now, in your person's headspace, let's see what they may have been feeling the past few days. And we have, the Eight of Swords. Okay, that is mental entrapment. Lots of overthinking. Lots on the brain, okay? And, oops, as I'm dropping cards here, the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is passion in the pants. They might be feeling a little spicy, but this also is about motivation. And the Knight of Wands is an energy that rides in very quickly and then can leave just as fast. So we want to maintain motivation, right? We want consistency. We don't want somebody who just rides in hot breadcrumbs and then leaves, So if you've been experiencing hot and cold, it almost feels like I'm going to ride in really hot. And then at the same time, it's like, I don't know, shouldn't I? Can I have this? Can I really have this? Maybe this is too much. Maybe I'm feeling too much, whatever it is, because this is that overthinking kind of energy. Okay. So let's see what's going on in the heart space, what you may have been experiencing recently. And there's conflict. There's the Five of Wands. You're also in this should I, shouldn't I, what's going on? How do I handle this? There's just sort of this instability is how I would describe it. And feeling left out in the cold. How many of you felt left out? Now, interesting that we have 5-5 here. So you may be going through a bit of a tower moment, okay? You might be feeling like you don't know what's next. You might be scared of what's going to happen. But as I always say, it's about trusting the process, right? Okay, let's see what else is happening here. Let's look at your person's heart space in the previous days. They're trying to juggle their life. They have a lot going on. And there's the 10 of Wands. The burdens are getting heavier and heavier. This is that energy of like mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally exhausted. Okay. Now the overall energy here is the King of Wands. There is a silver lining to this though. And that is the King of Wands is purpose and passion and nurturing something. And I like this because it's about finding that sort of strength and courage to make some moves, but again, it does take time, it doesn't happen overnight because again, we're having a death and a rebirth, a total transformation here. And that's why it's so uncomfortable right now, is because there's so many changes happening. And when, there's change happening, everybody wants to go back to their comfort zone because they're like, well, what if? What if I make a mistake? What if I choose the wrong person? What if insert whatever? Well, you have no way of knowing until you actually get there. That's the thing. And, just as a side note, I've been noticing this quite a bit, is that there's this all or nothing kind of energy in the air right now. Okay? There's this side where there's people who really do embrace the change and they're open to it and they want it. Okay? And then there's the other side where it's like, nope, I'm not changing. I don't want to change. I'm afraid of change. Why do I need to change? And I don't feel like there's much in between right now. And there's a lot of projection of fear onto other people. So I was saying the other day, be mindful of the energy you keep right now, meaning the content you consume, the people that you're around. If you're around people that are in fear, it's going to rub off on you. It's going to infiltrate your energy. If you're finding that people are saying to you, there's something different about you, I just can't put my finger on it. What's different? I have this feeling that some of you are noticing vibrational differences between you, your friends, your colleagues, your family members, and that's really uncomfortable. Because when people start noticing that you're different, it's a catch-22. Ultimately, you love your friends, your family, your colleagues. At the same time, you can't take everyone with you. And those who are open to change will be sort of inspired by your changes. Those who aren't will be put off by them, put off by your changes, and maybe even begrudge you for making moves or being happy because they wish they could make the moves that you're making. And they'll try to keep you in the energy that you were previously in because it satisfies them, right? Because if you change, they feel they have to change. And if they're not willing to or wanting to, it creates tension and you start to lose the connection. So you might be finding that friends, colleagues, family members even fall to the wayside. And that's what happens in the spiritual journey. And I think that a lot of people are basically being tested on the next level of transformation here. It's every time you're about to go to another level, something will come in and test you to see if you're gonna be pulled backwards. And it's up to you to discern. It's up to you to pass those tests. But I know whenever I'm about to do something different or ascend a certain way, I know exactly how I get tested. So I'm more aware of it. I think that comes with the knowledge and the experience of making changes in life. So for me, I'm not so shocked by it when I'm tested, or I'm not so shocked by it when I see people who are resistant to change when they see me changing. So I would just say, be very mindful of your energy right now. And this is the other thing too. I've had people ask me this, and I don't know if this resonates with you. Sorry, I'm on a side tangent here. But even in connections, like love, it's very hard to have a relationship with someone who doesn't share the same maybe ideals or views on things. Meaning, if one is spiritual and one isn't, or one believes in energy and the other one thinks it's woo-woo, whatever, it makes things very difficult. And I remember when I was married and I was working on myself, and my ex-husband had said to me one day, we had a bit of a disagreement. He said, you think you're better than me. And I said, no, I don't think I'm better than you. It's that I've worked on myself for the entire year and you haven't been. We've been at completely different places in our growth. And I want to remind you that all of us are on different timelines, and sometimes it's nobody's fault, but if two people are on the same page, you have a really good chance of growth. If two people can't get on the same page, or they're in cycles that just don't work, or they're repeating and they're tumultuous, turbulent, whatever word you want to use, it makes things very difficult. And I found that the more we became different, on different vibrations or different levels of healing, the harder it was to have a relationship. And therefore, you know, that was the end of that relationship. And again, no regrets on my end. It was the best thing that ever happened to me, was sort of leaving that behind. But you know, each of us have to use discernment and say, what is it we want? And that's why I'm saying earlier, make a decision. You know, what is it that you want? Who do you want to be? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? If you're not making those decisions, you're just going to stay confused. And again, let me remind you of something. It's like saying, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. I'm confused, I'm confused, I'm confused. It brings you more, I don't know, and I'm confused, I'm confused, I'm confused. So you've got to be crystal clear on what it is that you want. Underlying energy right now, see, there you go. 8 of Wands, manifestation, shooting your shot. This is putting intentions out there and releasing the attachment to them, preparing for the truth and the clarity. Sometimes we have to just take a shot at something and see where it lands. You know, I'm also finding that a lot of people are needing to have important conversations, whether they like the answers or not. Like at a certain point, there needs to be some sort of clarity or answer, because then you can navigate. But again, there's fear of what happens when someone gets the answer. They may not like it. Then what do? Right? It requires change. It requires, you know, perseverance and consistency to make changes. Okay. Let's go to the current energy. So in your headspace, we have the Page of Swords. Be very careful with spying or observing, just as a side note, you know, energetic spying, you know, looking at someone's social media all the time, or, you know, rereading old conversations, looking at old pictures. Again, that nostalgia. I know there's a lot of nostalgia. Listening to old songs that really don't serve you. Be careful with that. But, you know, also the Page of Swords does invite you to be more logical and decisive, which is what I was just saying. Communicate a decision. Pages are all about communication. Okay. So let's see what else in your headspace here. The Eight of Pentacles, there's work to do. You're doing the work. Consistency is key. In your person's headspace, there's the Queen of Pentacles. And it's very interesting because we talked about stability. Now, I've been talking about stability a lot lately. That, you know, we're craving stability. But in order to get to that stable energy, we have to make changes. We've got to create a new normal. We have to create a new stability. And that's why everybody's so afraid. Because it's the unknown. We already have a comfort zone. But remember, that comfort zone's not so comfortable. You know, it may feel stable and normal to you because that's what you've been living in. That doesn't mean it's good for you, right? So in order to get to new stability, you've got to create a new normal and new energy, and that's sparking new things. Now, with that, we have the Knight of Cups. See, there's this preparation for offering something in love here. And I would say more than likely that your person wants to feel stable and good within themselves in order to be able to give to you, right? And I'm just drawn to the moon here on the card. On Tuesday, April 23rd, we are having a full moon Zoom. And that means a group of us are getting together on a Zoom call, doing a general collective reading about the full moon in Scorpio, looking at the energies, talking about what everybody's going through. There are some spicy cards thrown into the mix, but we're going to get together on Tuesday, talk about the energies, and then within 2 weeks, I will send every participant their own little mini moon reading sent via YouTube. So if you'd like to join, it's $22. It's on my website. And like I said, it's Tuesday, April 23rd. This is going to be a very interesting full moon because the full moon is in Scorpio. Very transformative, very emotional. It's deep. And this is going to be a major one. A lot of people are talking about this moon. Yeah, it's deep. But anyways, I'm just thinking about this moon here. I kind of feel like the moon is already giving us vibes that are heavy and emotional and making people get into their headspace way too much. So in your heart space previously, we had these 5 5s, right? Big changes ahead. And look, there's the Ace of Wands. You know, we talked about the King of Wands, preparing that energy. Here's that purpose and that passion. And with that, we have here, okay, the Devil card. Restrictions, addictions, and codependency. You know, somebody's going to have to break the chains of old stuff. Whatever's been holding you back. Okay? And there will be some clarity or some sort of action to leave behind those restrictive energies or situations. In your person's heart space, we have here, see the Empress. This is my whole point. We talked about the Empress, meaning the preparation, or the Nine of Pentacles being pre-Empress, you know, preparing for that new cycle. And here we have the Empress, which is like divine feminine energy. We're birthing. I mean, she's basically showing pregnancy here. There's transformation with the butterflies. It's beautiful. It's Venus, self-worth, self-value, self-respect. You know, that's that Taurus and Libra energy. And I want to remind you that, you know, this Jupiter in Taurus, this conjunction, this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, you know, that Taurus energy is about value and fortune and tangible things. It's very exciting energy. Now, with that, we have here the Tower. Everything is changing. And the Tower does not have to be a bad thing. Please understand that the Tower is for your own good. It's not something that happens to you. Okay, it's happening for you. And I've been using the analogy lately of, it's like the nails, you know, like on a cliff, like somebody's grabbing on so tightly and trying to stop themselves from sliding down, when in reality, you just gotta let yourself go so that you can have the new energy roll in. You know, it's like this limbo right now. I feel like a bit of hanged man or hanged woman energy, where it's like, oh, you know, it doesn't feel good and we need this enlightenment, but the Tower brings it to you. And let me ask you this question. I am very curious. How many of you have been getting a lot of things hitting you from all angles? And what I mean by that is, like, you know, this happened, that happened, this mishap, this miscommunication, you know, I don't know, it could be anything. And if you're finding that you're kind of getting smacked around by the universe, it's because more than likely you're not listening. Now, some may disagree with that, but I know from personal experience and talking to thousands of people that when we don't listen, the universe makes us listen. You know, I wasn't listening. I had the shit hit the fan in my life. And within 1 month of that, I had a $100,000 house flood. Now, that was the floodgates opening up, the emotions. I should have made the move. I should have, oh my goodness, I should have done so many things, and I wasn't listening, and I got hit. But it's okay. You know, it was only aesthetic. But it caused a lot of change in my life because I needed it. It forced me to. So overall energy here is the Five of Pentacles. And we had that Five of Pentacles before, feeling left out in the cold. That feeling might linger a little bit because it takes time. And look, there's the King of Wands. The King of Wands is going to heat up that Five of Pentacles. I love that. I love that we're seeing these repeating cards. Now, here's the thing. Just know that another person doesn't necessarily bring you out of the cold, you know, all of a sudden heat you up. You have to be the one to work on your healing, take yourself out of the cold, be in a better vibrational energy so that you attract better. I want to remind you something. I always say this about dating. It's not that people miraculously fall from the sky just because, and they're going to save you, and they're going to make you feel like $1 million. Okay? That happens when you do the work on yourself. They got better because I got better. So it requires taking methodical steps to improve one situation. Okay? But this is telling me that we're taking ourselves out of the cold. We're finding purpose and passion. You know, there's a spark there. And the underlying energy, look, the Lovers. This is my whole point. How beautiful is this? What a gorgeous card. Deep soul connection. look, and the Wheel of Fortune, growth, expansion, and good luck. This Uranus or Jupiter-Uranus conjunction might bring something really beautiful here. A really nice shift. Okay, let's take a look at the After Tarot, which is, you know, coming up in the next little while. So let's take a look at your headspace. You're not in the cold anymore. We've had the Five of Pentacles 3 times now, leading us into the cold, being in the cold, no longer being in the cold. This is saying, I'm not a victim. I'm getting my bag, I'm packing up, and I'm taking myself out of this cold. I'm going inside. You can kind of see, even in the upper depictions, there was like a candle before, you know, like this indication of heat on the inside of this church. You know, basically like, I'm going to go inside and find refuge. This is like, I'm going to basically take myself out of the cold. And there's the Fool energy. You're on the brink. This is saying, just let go. Funny that I said the analogy of like the cliff, like the hands, you know, the nails. There you go. There's an example right there, you know, and it's like, let's do this. Let's go. Okay. All right. Now, in your person's headspace, Knight of Wands again, but this Knight of Wands is, wow, passionate and hot and motivated and ready to make some moves. I love the repeating cards. That always excites me. King of Swords, somebody who's logical and decisive and making moves. Yeah, they might have a little bit of detachment in their emotions. They might be feeling a little cool, but they're still being decisive about the connection and about their life. And in your heart space, look, there's the Star, healing, blessings, wishes coming true. You know, the Star card comes after the Tower, which means healing. And there's the Moon. Well, the Star and the Moon. The Moon and the stars. You know, again, I come back to full moon and Scorpio coming up. I think it's going to bring a lot of healing, even though it's going to be emotional and difficult. And let's see, in your person's heart space, we have the World, completion of a cycle. This is like saying, I'm really ready to go to the next level, even if it's scary. They've just had a Tower moment. Or you, for that matter. Like I said, swap sides. And there's the Eight of Pentacles. Again, 8-8. You know, we've had 5-5-5, 8-8. My goodness, we've had a lot of repeating cards. Your person, I don't know if you can see this. Sorry, I shouldn't have put that down yet. There's almost like the item being built. There's the reward of the hard work. Okay. Overall, healing the broken heart. Letting an old cycle go. Something is dead, done, and over with. Now we've had 10-10 as well. I feel like we always get 10-10. And look, there's the Two of Pentacles. There's the balance. No more juggling. Life is good. And the Devil card is basically saying we're no longer chained. We had the Devil earlier, restrictions, addictions, codependency. Look at these two. They're not having any difficulty over here. So it's really a trust the process kind of vibe. All right, let's take some Power of Surrender cards just to see what you need to surrender or surrender to. So on your side here, we have surrender outdated beliefs about yourself. Let go of limiting ideas about yourself that originate from the past. Then you can own your power and soar in your life. Stop telling yourself an old story. It's not serving you. It's not helping you. Excuse me. And I would also say to you, that's the same thing about your person. Stop telling yourself an old story about this person. If you're always in this mindset that they're no good, they lie, they cheat, they do this, this, and this, it doesn't help you. Now, I don't mean be delulu and just go along with bad behavior. That's not okay. You know, let me clarify, because I always see a lot of comments, you know, that say, I've been waiting. I never, ever, ever encourage people to wait on someone that can't decide, or that breadcrumbs, or that can't give. Put yourself first always. Make the moves. Nothing that's meant for you will ever pass you by. Don't accept bad behavior. Now let's see what else. In your person's side here, surrender to trust. Trust yourself in your decisions. Don't be swayed by other people's strong opinions about what to do. Take action and be confident that you have chosen the right path. There's so much to this that I want to say. In general, trust the process, always. Your person might even be asking you to do that, to trust. On the other hand, what did I say earlier about other people's energy? This card says, take action and be confident that you have chosen the right path. It's your mind, it's your body, it's your soul. People are either with you or they aren't. And you can't hold yourself back just because they want you to or because they are afraid of change. Now, I just happened to see this as I was talking, and I want to just make a point about this. Surrender to wonder and awe at the bottom of the deck. Open to the magic of every moment and sense the awe and wonder in all of life. This attitude will keep you connected to the ecstasy of flow. I want you to have curiosity. I want you to believe in magic. I want you to be open, and I mean truly open. So I really hope this resonates with you. Thank you so much for listening to my reading. It always means so much to me. The likes, the comments, the subscribes. If you'd like to join the full moon Zoom on April 23rd, the link is in my bio. Again, thank you very much, and I'm wishing you an amazing week.